Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sulaiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, break out 7 seals. This continuation from yesterday. I had interruption, so it's about the Christian legacy. And, okay, it help if I spell it right. Hold on for a second, brothers and sisters. I pulled the wrong copy. Hold on 1 second. I'll check it real quick. Just make sure. There you go. Okay. Done. Okay, there you go. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, there's some technical difficulties here. Oh, what's going on? Oh, boy, I tell you. Oh. Somebody's having a lot of fun on my account. Okay, I guess I'm good to go now, brothers and sisters. Oh, I guess I could. Might change just a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay, there you go. The Christianity legacy. So I talked about this yesterday. I'm going to follow up. See, Christianity is different from Catholicism. So we say Christianity, we're talking about what stemmed out of the Protestant movement 500 years ago. The Protestant movement. Protested, that's where it came from. Protest. They protested against the Catholic Church. They broke away. I think King England was the first to do it. They broke away from the Catholic Church. Because the Catholic Church had total monopoly over the scriptures and everything else. In fact, the common person, if they could read it all, they didn't have access to the scriptures. They didn't have access to the Bible. Only people had access to it was the priest, the Pope, and maybe, right, some royalty, maybe. But everybody else, no access. They only know what they told them. Only know what the priest and the told them said it meant. And so when the Protestant movement started, the Protestant movement, I think, has something to do with the Gutenberg press, where they invented the press or whatever. They started printing these books, mass producing them. I think they call it the Gutenberg press. And then the common person started getting access to it, and so they started reading it, and that was a Protestant movement because they protested against it, but they changed it, they pronounced it Protestant, right? But because it came from the word protest, they protested against Catholic Church, and they broke away from it, and the interpretation that the Catholic priests and the monks and the popes would tell them, and they went by, right? their own interpretation. And so when you have all these different sects, Methodists, the Lutherans, the Baptists, so forth, so on, right? That's how that comes. That started 500 years ago. And so we've been under. See, religion is mind, is a mind. Mind feeds information to the brain. Then you put information on a calculator. Calculator just calculates. The brain just calculates. Now, calculates depending on how powerful the brain is. Because animals calculate too. But have weaker brains. Okay? So it depends on how powerful your brain is, how powerful the calculation will be, but still no, it's going to calculate, it's going to calculate. Right? Unless the brain is damaged, it's going to calculate logically to the extent that it's, how powerful the brain is. So you get information in, and then your decisions is a result of what comes out. And so if bad information is coming in, then you're going to make bad decisions. You will act out of order because the information you're getting is out of order unless you have a defective brain. Okay? So we're told that this world would be under deception of Gog and Magog. Right? There's Satan in there, but anyway, Gog and Magog be under deception, right? The whole world. And see, part of deception is, this is what chapter 20 of Revelation, in India, what you call Revelations, it says, that's chapter, but see, that's part of the greatest part of deception is deception about that chapter itself. They tell you that chapter is the future. That's the millennium when Jesus is going to come back. He's going to take over the world. It's going to be a 1,000-year reign. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, he's going to leave and put Satan in charge. And Satan's going to, and then God and Magog will come back up from the dead. But you don't find anything in the Bible that supports that. Right? Because it said when he comes back, he's going to be with you forever. It said a kingdom that will last forever. It says a kingdom that will last forever. But he's saying, no, it's not going to last forever. It's going to last for 1,000 years. It says, when the Angel of Days come, put everybody down, it's going to be a kingdom that will last forever. But they tell you, no, chapter 20 says it's only going to last 1,000 years. They say it's going to take over. See? You don't ask questions about these things. Because that period, the deception is that European history. Chapter 20 is European history. 1,000 years of dark ages, held down by a resurrected empire, Abraham's resurrected empire. They can't tell you that because, first of all, they would tell you, identify who they are, and also identify who Abraham, true seed Abraham is, are. See? What religion is correct religion. All that chapter, if you put that chapter in the right place and understand it, because they tell you it was the past, then you have to go back and say, when did this, anything of that happen in the past? And boom, you're full stop on European history because it maps out exactly. And it says Gog and Magog will come out and see the whole. It'd be two empires that came out of Dark Ages. So Dark Age European country is, wait a minute, back up. It's only been 2 world empires that you know about. No, only 2 world empires, not Rome, right? Not Greece. Not Genghis Khan, not Alexander the Great. So there are 2 world empires. That's America and Britain, period. And before they became empires, they didn't even know there was a whole world. And they came out 500 years ago after 1,000 years in Dark Ages. And Magog just means the mother of God. And Magog, that's what means the mother of God. So that means God will come out of Magog. And that's what happened. Britain came out, and out of Britain came America. This is very simple. See, you're not getting this information from any place on the planet. You're not getting this information in any scripture anywhere. See, all of them I'm giving you, you're not getting anywhere. And everything I say is actually proven. It's easy to prove. And it said it would be like that. It said this world would be under deception until the Ancient of Days came. broke the seals, the Lamb, exposed the light, revealed the light, which would destroy the darkness. So until that happened, the world was in darkness, and whole world was deceived. The whole world. So that means if they have not broke those seals, and they have not come to the Lamb, that means they don't know what the F they're talking about. That means everybody out there is lying, everyone. It says the only light that you would have is the light that precedes the great light. And that would be that God will come and set up Elijah to prepare the way for that great light. Other than that, total darkness. Total darkness. So if God will come, right, and set up a light that would prepare the way for the great light. Other than that, total darkness. So these preachers are lying to you. Prove to me that chapter 20 is not European history. Because if it is European history, that means everybody's lying to you. The whole world is in deception. Everything, everybody. Until someone comes and breaks the seals and expose the light. A great light. So show me that chapter 20 is not Europe. If it's not your history, it's the future, then I'll just shut up. Because if that's true, then you know everybody here is deceiving you. Everybody. Even Aaron, Farrakhan. Because he would take you back to the darkness after Elijah's departure. It tells you that. That's what Aaron did. Drag you right back to the darkness after Moses departed, or Elijah departed. So everybody's lying to you. It says the world, they would deceive the whole world. They say some of all of it. Until true light came. And one of the greatest part of deception is the chapter itself. Because if you go back and look at that chapter and realize that's European history, case closed. Because now you know who Gog and Magog is, and who Satan is. Okay? You know who Abraham is and what his religion was. Who chooses Abraham? Okay? Then you would know that. That's deception. So just on a mind exercise, just go back and say, if this is European history, what does that mean? Try that. Just go back and look at chapter 20 and say, if this is European history, what does that mean? And see what you come up with. See if the whole world does become illuminated. See if this light just start disappearing at the speed of light. This darkness started disappearing. Not meant to say, well, they call it light. Their light just started disappearing. Because it says Satan is the God of this world. What does that mean? What would Satan's works be? So we're going to examine some of those things, brothers. I had 2 presentations, but it takes hours to prepare these things. I have technical difficulties. I had 2 hours going to prepare today. That was a special, but I'll do it tomorrow. Right? Yeah. Now, this is for those special liars over there with Farrakhan. Those who conceal all the book that Allah has revealed and take for a small price, they need nothing but fire in their bellies. Allah will not speak to them on the day of resurrection, nor to purify them if it was a painful chastisement. Because see, they talking about I weave around the book. You ain't supposed to weave around the damn book. Yeah? No, the Bible is not a damn book to us. The sealed Bible is. That's why a lot of them call it the poison book, right? So when I ain't talking about the unsealed Bible, no, that's damn to them. Allah not speaking on their right, nor to pure them, and there's a payment chastisement. These they have error for guidance. They buy error for guidance, and chastisement for beginners. How bold they are to challenge the fire. Like they talk like, hey man, they don't challenge no consequence. There's no consequence what they're doing. Oh boy, they're gonna find a minute. That's because a lot revealed the book with truth. See, they tell you the Bible, oh, it's distorted. It's corrupted. But then why are you preaching it? They run to the Bible to prove stuff they say, but they tell you it's distorted. So I guess they're only their whatever you say, weaving around it is right. See, they talk out both sides of their mouth. If the Bible is distorted, that's because Allah has revealed the book with truth. And sure, disagree about the book going far in opposition. Ain't talking about the Quran here. Because he said, you have to believe in was revealed to you and before you. You see? In fact, the whole Quran wasn't even existing when this verse was written. Just parts of it existed. The whole book wasn't existing until Prophet Muhammad's death, and then it was finished. Even so, it says you have to be revealed. You have to. Allah says you have to reveal what's. You have to believe what's revealed to you and what was before you. So he, when I tell you to reveal what was before you, it was corrupt. Why would he tell you to believe something corrupt and then punish you for not obeying it? Makes no sense. Come on, brothers and sisters. That's for them. But one by one not, they will not believe. See? The fire will move your ass. And it's going to move yours real fast. But then, it's too late to believe then. You will believe, but it won't profit you. And see, we have, under the last 500 years, the Genesis tell you there was 2 books. It says a greater light and a lesser light. And if you understand how in Genesis work, those 6 days, 7 days, right? They're broken into 2 parts, night and day. So that means if each one is 1,000 years, 500 years night, 500 years day. And so it says the greater light, right? The day, the greater light was, so it's 500 years apart. And that's exactly. The Bible was by prophet, what you call Prophet Jesus, revealed 2,000 years ago, and 500 years later came the Quran. And so the Quran is the lesser light, it's the moon of the greater light. A moon reflects the light. And the Quran has pretty much the same ideas that's incorporated in the Seal Bible. And it tells you, one of the main reason for it is to try to give you the best understanding of what the Seal Bible is saying. The Seal Bible is saying. Because see, the Seal Bible was their guidance. That was Adam's guidance, the one that made Mishra shed blood. So you don't understand these things, and nobody ever explained it to you. Why would God put somebody in charge that make Mishra shed blood and tell you to submit to him? That means, what is he going to instruct you to do? What is going to have you? Force you to submit to tell the truth and not make Mishra and not shed blood? No, that's how he's going to guide you into it. He's the ruler. You got to obey him. So that means you're going to he's going to have you make a Mishra shed blood too. But so why would God have somebody do that? You don't understand those things. I explain those things to you. No one can explain that. So they say, well, that's all humanity. No, it's not all humanity. Who's ruling the planet again? Remember it said God, MAGOG? Who's ruling the planet? Who's been ruling the planet? Was it India for the last 500 years? Was it China the last 500 years? Wasn't Africa? Europeans under the flag of America and Britain. That's Adam. Adam is Britain. Eve is America. Very simple stuff, brothers and sisters. You understand that? Change your whole perspective. And they don't want that. Because if you're an original person, that means they've been bombarding you with deceptive information. That's why you act like you acting. It's not your fault. Farrakhan's telling it's your fault. Because he's one of them. He follows the devil. Biology tells you, if you believe in biology, if you don't believe in biology, you need to throw your cell phone and everything away, because all that's mathematics. All that's mathematics. It ain't no spook or spirit doing it. Jesus ain't operating your cell phone. He's not putting gas in your tank. And biology, right? All the medicines and all that stuff you're taking, all the cures, all that stuff is based on biology. Now you're going to tell me the fundamental aspect of biology don't work when it comes to Farrakhan? This follows the devil. His father had passed the seed. He started out as a sperm. You start out in life as a sperm. The egg is not alive. It's living material, but it's not alive. The sperm is. It goes looking for the egg. The egg don't look for the sperm. So you are what your father is. His father devil, so is he. Case closed. This is basic mathematics, brothers and sisters. So if you resist that, that means you're the demon or you're out of your goddamn mind. And we know we're out of our goddamn minds, don't we? Right? See? And your mind is telling you don't listen to anything that what they're saying. That's what it structures you to. But that's a conflict with your nature. So now you got a mind that's in conflict with your nature. Who's gonna win out? It says you're gonna win out in the end, because in Mark, he came to Jesus based on his nature. Down his mind, he came to Jesus on nature, and Jesus gave him his mind. So your nature is getting more inspired, you're more energized. After a while, it's going to override your mind, right? And go seeking someone's going to give you the mind. Hey man, I can't use this mind no more. I need to find somebody that's got me a right mind. Go seeking. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. So this reflects, Quran reflects what the sealed Bible says, right? And you got Suleiman, look it on. Let's move on. And so, when the sealed Bible, when they got that revelation, took it. Remember, Adam regarded. I talk about pressure. I'm getting to that today, right? To some extent. But the season changed. It was the time of Gog and Magog. It says the end would come to breaking the power of the holy people. I never talked about that too deeply. No, not today. That's what's happening. Holy people are the Arabs. And their power is being broken over there, slowly but surely. Abomination, desolation is happening right before your eyes. But if you're blind, you cannot see it. Abomination, desolation happening right. That's what's happening in false Israel right now. And the scripture said, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, who controls Jerusalem? Not the Arabs, not the Palestinians. You know, its destruction is nigh. That means the people that control, their destruction is nigh. That's simple. See, because your mind's so distorted that somebody can tell you 5 + 5 is 55. You go for it because your mind's so distorted. It's right there. These things I told you are absolutely true, clear points. It says, read it. When you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, know its destruction is near. Who controls Jerusalem? Why is it surrounded by armies? Isn't that happening right now? Everybody's turning against them. Armies moving in place. See, you know, lion dog Ishmael, that boy he's born and retarded. What is going to happen to him? Everything we say is true. We can prove it. He's a goddamn lie. He can't prove a goddamn thing he's saying is true. We can prove it. You can't. Why you don't take Q&A? They never take Q&A because they can't prove it. They just say it. Elijah Muhammad did Q&A all the time. I do Q&A. Right? I mean, if you put me in a position, you got to put me in a public forum. Yeah, I do Q&A all day long. People ask me questions, I answer them. And I offer $1,000 incentive to anyone that can prove to me that Farrakhan is really representing Elijah Muhammad's teachers. And Master Pharmacy, 1,000 I put out there, been out for years. Nobody's ever stepped up and took it. Yet they claim he's telling the truth. He's representing Elijah Muhammad. But they call me names. They know about me. They call me names, send me nasty grants, but they don't step up to $10,000 because they can't prove any of that crap they say is true. But we can prove it all. No, that's a lie in itself. So this is, you know, if you look at this right here, this is like energy waves, like brain waves. See? And that's what I was showing here. Okay. I'm just going to go on. I'm not going to get my sidetrack of yesterday. But energy. So everybody gets the same amount of energy. But how do you use your energy? That's how How you have to, everybody gets the same amount of energy. See, that's the absolute truth. But they don't tell you that. Everybody gets the same amount of energy. It's what you do with it that matters. How you invest it. You invest in your future by taking care of your health. You invest in learning. How do you invest it? But anyway, right? Now, if you put it out as ideas, right? Just like this. And it spreads out. Now, if that's pressure, because thought is pressure. Thought is pressure. So, if your pressure, if your thoughts, they say truth, but truth, you have to be careful about the word truth. Because truth depends on, right, the season you're in. Because during Adam's time, making people shed blood, he was the truth. Or God went and told you, listen to him, you obey him. That was the truth for that time. See, because you don't understand these things because they got you, your mind, they've really destroyed us literally. They robbed us blind literally. Took everything from us, even our minds. And in some cases, our nature, because the demons run around without appearance, but they have their nature. And so your thought process is totally warped. That's why you can't understand these things. Anyway, you put information in this. See? And so if higher pressure overcomes lower pressure. And so when you put thoughts out there, if your thoughts are higher pressure, means they're in sync with the reality for it, then they're going to overcome lower pressure. So the thing is that as soon as they got God, they got Mecca, they got the crowd and everything else, but they didn't have the truth. The crowd the truth for 1,000 years it was. And then Adam would come out and they would be the truth for the next 500 years. And so what? That was the greatest pressure. So what? It forced Sunni in submission, didn't it? It forced Hinduism in submission, didn't it? Buddhism, everything, it forced everyone in submission, including us, didn't it? Because it was the truth for that time. But now it's that time is past. Like the winter truth is different from the spring truth. Oh man, I don't know what that winter truth. Well, then you don't want to adjust to the winter mind, then you're gonna freeze to death. And then the winter runs its course, and then spring. So now you gotta adjust to the new mind for the spring. Otherwise, right, you lost. You're not be successful. All your castles and ice castles and snow pen and whatever it's all melted, right? So if you got winter season, I guess money, ice would be more ice. You got more money, the more wealth you have. All of a sudden, just dried up Oprah. All that money y'all think y'all got and everything, it's going to be. They say you're going to throw your gold and silver in the streets. It's going to be worthless because it's built on this system. This system is dead. It's dying. It's virtually dead because it's winter. I mean, what about all the wealth that the Roman dinar, all that stuff they had, right? I guess they go to call it. You got a lot of that today. It does do you any good? Okay. What happened? Oh no. Let me get right here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the history of Gog and Magog, Christianity. Because Christianity came out of the mind of Gog and Magog. Say Christianity is a religion. It's the reality, the mindset that brought everything to existence. Everything you see in existence came out of someone's mind. This reality came out of someone's mind. Came out of the mind of Gog and Magog. See? It's force. Pressure. Because thought is force. It's pressure. Pressure is just force spread out. I'm not going to try to go into it, but look it up, bro. It says if you don't understand, that's what pressure is, just force spread out. Right? But it's force. So this came out of their mind. But if you tell you their mind, they would have a mind to make them shed blood. So a system they would come out. We have a blood-shedding system, a mischief-making system. I mean, if you say Adam's going to be in charge, why Bliss said, I don't know about that. See, because he said, I know what you know now, because he didn't know about, he understands Caesars. Or he thought, well, it's going to be the solar system ceases forever. And see, you always had. You had people that was with Moses, right? Oh, it's going to be the Torah. That's the Bible. You don't know about Scripture. That's the Bible forever. It's going to be the... No, it's for that season. And then when Jesus came along, right, what you call Jesus, I don't want that Jesus. Well, it was new season. And what it put down the Mosaic system, didn't it? Because it's a new season. And then Mama came along, I don't want that damn, I don't want that Islam stuff. And what it did, it put down Rome, it put down the Catholic Church, didn't it? For 1,000 years. Put them all down. You see the pattern here? New season. I don't want that damn Muhammad stuff. And put them all down, right? You see? And then Adam came along, Gog and Magog. I don't want that damn Muhammad stuff. Well, I don't want that Christian stuff. I don't want that stuff. You know, that cross. I don't want that Christian stuff. What? And now it's dominated for the last 500 years. And they put Sunni down, Sunni on his knees. They claim, I fear nobody but Allah. That's bullshit, because look at that. little false Israel, they're squeaking, they jumping, they're hiding, knees are shaking. Yet they got Mecca, they got the Quran, they got population, they got money and everything else. They got all of that. And plus they got Allah on top of all that. Every time little Israel squeaks, is he coming after us? But please, don't we'll help you with everything you want to do. You know, but tell us what you want to do. You want me to kiss your ass? Then we won't fear nobody but Allah. It's a goddamn lie. They're all in submission to Adam, every one of them. That's probably why they're jealous, because they can't get Iran, Persians, to fall in line. Okay? But understand the Persians, see, they totally, see, they're the jinn, they totally resisted. They said, we ain't gonna submit to Adam. But the Iranians did. He said, well, what do you mean system? Well, they accepted a lot of Adam's ideas. Democracy, technology, and they're beating Adam at it. But as soon as no technology, no government, right? No religion, no economic system, no banking system, they directed, that's right, they're the jinn. That's why they want to tell Adam who Adam is, because that they feel him as a jinn. So Adam's all humanity. All humanity is not ruling this planet. Only people ruling this planet, Europeans, right? Under authority of Gog and Magog. They tell you that they feel they're the jinn. And you look at they resist. They're the only people in the world that resist totally. The Chinese, they accept the technology. They don't accept the government technology, even some of the religion. But they reject all of it. And Iran accept the technology, the science, they accept, and they build their own stuff and everything else. So they're in submission. We totally in submission. We over here, we totally in submission. And they're the only ones total resistance that show they're the jinn. So, who is God of this world? Okay, they said known by their works. So what's the history of the Europeans? Gog and Magog specifically. Right? I ain't put everything there. But they colonized Africa. All this happened under the colonization of it. Africa didn't bother them. Genocide. Right? How did they get this? They wiped out the natives of this country. They wiped them out. Viciously. When the so-called braves, that's what they call them, the male, they go out, hunt the buffalo or whatever. When they left the camp, these crowds were sitting, just wait. Then they come in the camp with just women and children. And they talk about false Israel over there? And they'd kill them, and then stump the children with their hooves of horses, stump their brains out. This is what they would do, the cowards. While the braves was gone, the braves come back, man, the family, everything's wiped out. And then if they do something about it, they're terrorists. People are sick. And then when they have signed a treaty and obey it, they put them in a reservation, then they fed them, they gave them disease, smallpox blankets. Those will kill the women and children. They did it on purpose, disease. Most disease in the world today, almost all of it, comes from them. You have any evidence of any disease in China, India, any place before the Europeans came on the scene. And they spread all disease, syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes. Most of that stuff that comes from seafood animals. They like to copulate with animals. You know, why is that? Seafood animals. You heard the story about Hugh Hefner, right? Got a playboy guy, got all these, he called beautiful women. And his secretary, she bring her dog to work one day, and she went to lunch and said, would you watch my dog when I'm going? He come back. She come back a little early. He's doing the dog. That's where most of that come from. They love these dogs. I said, man, get that dog with me, because every time you get a cold, now remember, the dog's the only animal in the world I know about. You can Google it and check it out. I didn't never check it out, but you know, I was told this by a physician before, so I should have checked it out myself. I'm not going to do it right now. So if I'm wrong, then right, I'm just saying what I've been told, so I usually don't like to repeat that. But it said dogs are the only animal that catch colds. And so by them sleeping and kissing, you know, they kiss them in the mouth and everything else, that's how people get it. So every time I catch a damn cold, I get mad because them damn dogs, you got your dog in the house. I mean, you know, I'm move on. That is sick. You shouldn't be bringing dogs in your house. That's part of why you're getting cancer and all those other different things you're getting, right? With tumors and all that kind of stuff. Because it's a different biological system. It's a different biological system. And these are stuff that don't bother them will kill you. You got virus, all that kind of stuff. Some of them are good for you, but it's bad for them. And some of them are good for them, but bad for you. And you around, you kiss them and everything else. And next thing you know, you overpower your immune system because you're bringing in a foreign ecosystem in your body, so your body has to build. You just have to fight that, protect yourself from it. So overtax of what breaks down. This thing, you got tumors and stuff. You get them on. I'll move on, brothers and sisters. But disease, murder, oppression, deception, I ain't miss terror. Because when you get to enslavement, they enslaved us 400 years. How do you maintain slavery? Say, with terror. You have to terrorize people to maintain that level of slavery for 400 years. So they're a terrorist nation. God can make out be terrorists, genocide maniacs, these spreaders, under the cloak of Christianity. They had a big old cross around their neck, right? And they say, and that was the way they was to act, conduct themselves. They'd come over and say, hey, how y'all doing? Can we come in? Oh yeah, come on in, right? Can we buy a piece of land here? Can we live here for a while? That's how they got it. You don't know stuff about Thanksgiving, boy. That was such a treacherous deal. They were starving, and the natives showed up and gave them a lot of food. Kept them starving. And what they do to the natives? They killed them all. Yeah, check it out. Thanksgiving. Racism, theft, wars, slavery. Okay, they said, oh, Christianity does so much for. Show me what Christianity has done for the world. Oh, because they saved people, because they brought you to Christ. This is what bring you to Christ is. Christians are the most vicious, evil people on the planet. They walk around like angels of light. Oh, and look what they do. When they was raping my ancestors, right, they had a cross around their neck. And they call them animals. And right in that Constitution that you love so much, it says we not even human. We 3/5 of a person. They tell me it's wrong. Tell me what they I make America great again, Mr. Trump. Make great to do what? When was it great? When we was raping and beating us and torturing us and terrorizing us 24/7 for 100 years? When was it great? They honor Jefferson and Washington. Those guys were rapists. They were pedophiles. And they had hundreds of slaves. They weren't farmers, Mr. Whatever that guy's name is, GPS. They weren't farmers. They was farmers. No, they were slave owners, rapists. What's that guy? Ben Affleck? I was telling somebody asked me at gym this morning, right? I think it was him, pretty sure it was him. He played Batman or something, right? I ain't one of them. I'm not one. I wouldn't do all that stuff. My family, right? And then he did a accessory thing and found like his grandfather was a major slave owner. And he shut that down real fast because they're all guilty. They ain't guilty. You know, it's stolen property according to your law. They give it back to the neighbors. Take your ass back to Europe. On the way, make us whole. Give us our names back. Give us our religion back. Give us our land back. See? Give us our mind back. You took everything, robbed us blind, took everything from us, everything, and left us with what? Can't even see. Blind, no mind. They literally robbed us blind. Literally. And when you hate something, you change it, don't you? Do you change things that you love? Do you change things that you love? That's a simple question. Do you change things that you love? Would you change things you hate, or you get rid of it? And the more you hate, the more you change it. They change us 100%. That means hate us 100%. They left nothing. And so how you know they hate you now? Because they want to maintain your situation you are right now. Because if you go back and say, oh, try to challenge and try to get some of yourself back, your name back, try to get your religion back, and man, they come on you like a storm. Remember Ali? He was fine as far as Cassius Clay. Once he said it was Ali, man, they came after him so hard. They got the Supreme Court after him. He was trying to put him in prison, trying to make him go to the army, trying to make him recant. Tell me he was a Muslim on top of that. He said he made so much money after he did that. He said he made so much money he couldn't keep up with it. Because he said his stage was full. Because those devils came there. They were packed because they came there. They paid no matter how much they paid for it. They wanted to see him. They wanted to be there when he got his ass kicked. They left him as long as Cassius Clay. So when they be fist bumping you and talk nice because they hate you, but they accept you where you are right now, yeah. But if you start rolling back, then you see the hate. See? Then you see the hate. Like right now, we have to be like they want us to be. What does that mean? They want us to be like they want us to be. That's their law. The law is how they are. The law is made for their nature. When they make laws for their nature, what makes them feel good is good for them, right? Or we have dogs in the house, all that kind of stuff, right? But that's not our nature. But if we don't obey our nature, we're criminals. We're in jail. We get executed and everything else. You see what I mean? And you understand it. On top of the fact that you're still a slave, you understand it. Harriet Tubman says if she would have freed more if they knew they were slaves. You don't know you're a slave right now. I asked this brother a simple question. He's an executive for a major bank. I'm not going to say any more than that. And we're his neighbors. He come out, wash his car and stuff, and I'm out there, he want to talk, right? And I love him, I'm listening. I'm not talking now ever. I listen, right? He was saying things, right, about, so so Anthony Jack, I said, look, he's educated, everything. I said, what would slavery look like in the industrial age? His eyes lit up. He knew exactly what that meant. He never thought of it like that. But it hit him. He looked, he didn't say anything. I ain't seen him for a few days. Because he knew he was still a slave. If you an employee, that's just a modern name for slave. In industrial, what was slave like in the industrial system? They don't have any fields no more. They got you behind a desk or pick a car, moving stuff around, whatever. You're still a slave. So they're paying you, still a slave. You know, democracy, you're still a slave. And democracy, that's an whole story altogether. Still a slave, but you don't know it. Because before you came here, you didn't work for anybody. Did you work for anybody before you came here? Did you have a boss? Did you have to do 9 to 5? And you was doing fine. You didn't need Social Security. You didn't need any of that stuff. And you was doing fine. You was healthy and strong and happy. Are you happy now? Are you healthy now? Your diabetes, rheumatism, AIDS, back aches, butt aches, face aches. Are you happy now? You got your car? How much time how much you paying for that car? How you use that car? How you use that car? 99% of use of that car is to get back to the plant. That's what he called it. Until they said, oh, they might catch on to that one. Plantation. So now they call it factory. No, they eventually call it plant. Just like chitlins. That's what they call it when they forced you to eat it. Damn near raw. That's what it is, shit. Anybody cook it, no, it floats. That shit, you see the float, you put it in the water to soak it, you see the shit floating in the water. But after you so-called free, they took this S off and put a C there. They said, you too stupid to figure it out. And some of us are. So you happy? You was happy before you came here. You was healthy before you came here. You have family, you have friends. And you're on the best part of planet Earth. Because Africa is the richest part of Earth. So now you're over here. You happy now? You healthy? You wealthy? 9 to 5? 90% of that car you're paying for is to get back and forth to the plant. So what you need it for? I got a car. And what you use it for? You sleep in it? Make babies with it? No. You get back and forth to, like a mule, get back and forth to the field. But you paying all that money for it. Why? You know, they don't this whole society don't need cars. They can structure the way you need cars. But no, that's right? That mortgage you're paying for. You see what I'm saying? How much your time, you're so free, how much time you have to enjoy all this freedom you're supposed to have? Okay, you're doing 9 to 5, 5 days a week, right? 40 hours, right? And you now got 2 more hours, so 10 hours a day because you got to prepare, right? And then you prepare to get to work, and then you got to get back home, right? So that's 10 hours right there, right? Say man, average person sleep 8 hours. That's 18 hours. How much you got left? You got 6 hours left. How much of that, right? You got to eat. That's an hour. So you got 7 hours left. You got to go and pay your bills and all that kind of stuff. You keep up with that kind of stuff, right? You know. So how much time you got? 2 or 3 hours a day to enjoy all this so-called freedom that you're supposed to have? You was free before you came here. You was free before you came over here. There were no dictatorships there. Your family. The whole tribe was family if you live in a tribe. But we're just tribes. Since Timbuktu was the greatest intellectual system, university on the planet, and people from all over the world came there in Africa. They got rid of it because they didn't want you to see it that would come from you. So you weren't any dictatorships. You had family. What happened was the elders. Oh, do you respect the elders? Once you became an elder, you sat on the council because the younger people follow what the elders give advice. right? But they get advice to their children, their family. They're looking out for the tribe. They ain't trying to get wealthy and rich. Of capitalism, maximum profit, minimum overhead, which is slavery by definition. Capitalism, you love capitalism so much. Maximum profit, minimum overhead. Maximum profit, minimum, that means if you can get somebody to work for nothing, that's the best capitalism. Ain't that slavery? That's the best part of capitalism. Capitalism that idea was a slavery idea to begin with. They wasn't practicing capitalism before that. Capitalism, they call it capitalism, and you was the money. If you set it out, you was the currency. Well, I'm a capitalist. And the danger is right now is maximum profit, minimum overhead. So how do you handle that now in the AI age? Well, if you get a robot, then you ain't got to pay them anything. You got to feed them nothing. So they don't need you anymore. See, the reason why they stopped so-called slavery, because they didn't need you anymore in the fields. They didn't need you anymore in the fields. They didn't stop because they loved you. They didn't need you in the fields anymore. And so slave master said, okay, well, make something out these niggas. So he was sending you into the plants. You're still a slave, sending you to the plant. And the plant owner would rather have you than the white folks, because if they was saying, I'm just throwing figures out there, if they was paying $10 an hour, they only had to pay you, slave master, just give me $1 an hour for each one. He won't give you none of it. And you wouldn't get no back talk or anything. And you worked harder than the white folks did. So they, hey, I don't pay him $1, I got to pay you $10. And the white folks up north got angry about that. They said, we can't compete with them. That was all about. That was all about. And it wasn't about freedom, because they didn't start talking about Emancipation Proclamation until the North started losing the war. And somebody said, we need some more soldiers. We said, if we tell those niggas that we're freedom, if they fight for us, then we have, and that's what happened. So they put black folks in the military, freedom, put them in, and they ended up winning the war. Right? And they never kept those promises, did they? You get 40 acres and a mule, you get any of that stuff? And they started trade guilds and unions and everything else, apprenticeships. They keep you out of those jobs. That's a fact. But they tell you lies, like I said. All deception. You deceive by everything. Until somebody breaks the seal. Now I broke the seals and I can prove it. I can prove I broke the seals. That means that the only light you're getting is from this. Because if you get any place else, it's lies. That's what Scripture is telling you. Any place else is lies. Except where Elijah gave it, and that was only for a certain period of time to prepare. He's preparing. It wouldn't be this truth that would get you home. The final truth. The final truth will come from the messenger of the covenant. So where's the messenger of the covenant at? Ask the preacher, where is it? That's what tells you should be looking for, seeking him. How can the preacher ain't telling you about that? See, he's a goddamn liar. Oh, it's going to be some terrible times. But see all this right here? This is the legacy of Christianity. See, I said, who is the God of this world? Because they follow this. It says, known by their works. Is this the works of Satan or the works of a righteous Jesus? Is this the works of Satan? Can you answer that question? Is this the works of Satan or the works of righteous Jesus? Because where's the works of right? I don't see any works of righteous Jesus anywhere in the last 500 years. I don't see it. I see this. And he said, Satan's God's world. And when you talk to Satan, Satan says, I control all the countries. He says some of all of them. That's Sunnism too. I got them all. And Jesus did not question that. So that means Satan is God's world, and his works is works that you're doing. Those are the works of Satan. I gave someone before. I said, Beelzebub. He's supposed to be some evil god or something, right? Take Beelzebub, take Satan. All these people think is evil, right? Lucifer. All these people think is evil, right? And Dracula, the Wolfman. The vampires, and with the zombies, all of them, and say they came here instead of Moses. I mean, excuse me, except of Columbus. So they came in, they arrived, they found a place. And they came in and did their thing. What could they do that Columbus and all the people that followed him didn't do? What could they do? What could they do that they didn't do? See what I'm saying? Because if they came here, you got the same result. They didn't come here and raise the Indians up and say, we're going to give Christianity, we're going to have you walk on water. No, they came here and killed them. Wiped them out. The scalping, they tell you scalping was Indian. No, that was they doing to the Indians. They're not even Indians, that's their mistake. They got it all backwards. And they had us rooting for them. I was a kid, I'm rooting, hey, Indians. Like I don't know what the hell they did to us, how we got over here, because I didn't know. I didn't find out until later on I started researching. Because they didn't want you to know what happened. And right now, they got a Trump specifically, and DeSantis in Florida and whatever, don't teach, because my granddaughter, she's still in Florida, right? She's in, I think, in Tallahassee somewhere. And she said that the school said they couldn't teach black history, about slavery. And it's the 1619 project, they don't won't tell about that, because 1619 and 2019, that's 40 years that we're supposed to be in. Immediately followed a plague, which it did. 2020 plague came in. That killed the firstborn, the elderly, and it passed over us. Go check the World Health Organization. It didn't affect Africa. It didn't affect Haiti. They wasn't social, didn't take vaccine or anything. But it's wiping everybody else out. Especially false Islam. Well, they took it. They really got hit. But they probably passed over, right? This is legacy. So he asked me, who is the God of this world? Who is the God they serving? Who is the God they serving? These are the works. This is how they got everything they got. Like this person, I said, I'm not down my people. I justify them. But I know this sister, she come at me when was that sister? No, it was a guy. And he was telling me about how you're going to run Jesus thing down on me, right? I said, yeah, man, Jesus, prayer works, man, prayer works. Said, you been praying? I said, man, I told him he didn't know me, right? So you know how they come to you sometime, and so he was telling, yeah, prayer works, man. He says, yeah, I can prove it because I prayed for a car, and man, I got a car, man. And so I said, okay, where was it, in your driveway? No, man. I said, where was it? He said, dude. Well, I thought you said God gave you a car. Why would he put it in the driveway? Well, I had to go to jail. Yeah, would you have to pay for it? You had to get the credit check? Well, I thought God gave it to you. Well, if you didn't pass the credit check, we still got it? I thought you said God gave it to you. When you got to pay for it? So it was a free gift. Why you got to pay for it? I mean, you got to put gas in it? You got mad at me. It's like this sister. And she got me out. I had a contract in Indiana. Was that it? No, Philly. Philadelphia. Right? Now Stan's apartment, I was on the third floor, she was on the second floor, right? And they had a garage, that was in my garage. She used to always hit me with Christian stuff. I never saying things, listen. So one day I said, okay, put an end to this. So she went out and says, is God sees everything? Yeah, he sees everything, he's all knowing. Does he know yeah, he knows the future, he knows everything before it happens, right? I said, did he create Adam and Eve? Yeah, he created Adam and Eve. I said, he knew they was going to be sinful when he created them? She got quiet. She picked up, see, these sisters ain't stupid. I mean, they may be back, eyes messed up. She saw where that was going. Because if he knew in advance they was going to be sinful, then why would he make a defective project and then going to burn the product up for being defective? Blame the product for being defective. We knew it was going to be defective when he made it. See, it don't make any damn sense, do it? But see, you taught not to think. If you do think, you got to accept this bad information you're getting. So you make bad decisions. Because all you got to do is ask questions, and all this just blows up. Let's move on, bro. Says, so who are they worshiping? Are these the works of Jesus? These are the works they're doing all across the board. And the Bible says, none are good, no, not one. Now you get lying Farrakhan going to tell you, see how stupid this is? Oh, that's the whole human race. None are good, no, not one. Don't that include you then? Farrakhan? That means you ain't no goddamn good either. So why the hell we listen to you, see? All you got to ask questions. No, it's talking about those Europeans. It says none are good, because you see it in Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham kept saying, can I find 10 good ones, or can I find 100 good ones? No, I can't find, if I just 10. He got down and once I couldn't find, he had to leave out of there because he tried to save the place, and he said, I couldn't even find one good one. Not the whole, because you're going to call Abraham no good, not one? See, just try to twist stuff. All you got to do is ask questions. Some are dumb. None are good. No, not one. Oh, there's some good ones. Some good synagogue Satan there. Nope. All are evil. All the devils is like Elijah Muhammad said, like the God said. They're all evil. All every one of them. Right? You go to Charles Salesman. He come out and say I'm evil. He come out look like Darth Vader. Right? See? No, he come out slick. Hair comb. Right? Cologne and everything. He's trying to he want to deceive your ass. He want to have you buying a piece of junk that you ain't paying for the rest of your life. You can't drive or ruin your credit. Okay, let's go to this brothers and sisters. Where we at here? Yeah, okay. Just chapter 20. Chapter 20, brothers and sisters. Behold, no, excuse me, this is Malachi. See, they tell you, like these fools tell me, the messenger, he's the eternal leader of the nation of Islam. Well, that means he's God, then ain't he? Messenger, Elijah Muhammad never saying stupid crap like that. He's the eternal leader of the nation of Islam. No, he's not. He never said anything like that. In fact, the scripture said, he almost didn't, depending on what scripture you read, he don't even make it hereafter. Because God had an issue with him. Eternal leader, they didn't say anything. They say, well, ain't nobody after him. But they come and tell you. I remember I was there. When Elijah Muhammad. I was there from 775, right in Chicago. I was a foreman at Muhammad Speak newspaper. We print paper. I was a foreman at night shift. I think it was 12 to 8 or whatever. So I was there. And they tell you, oh, the messenger. Right? He's the last one. Ain't nobody after him. He never said that. But see, they was going around beating the priest on the head. You gotta believe in Elijah because what Malachi said. I'm going to send a message. Say his name is Elijah. They would beat them on the head with that. That's their justification for believing Elijah. But now, when you come and say the whole thing, all of a sudden, oh, it's corrupt. Well, wait a minute. You said it was right when you try, but when you see talking about the message of covenant, oh man, say it's full of shit. Go tell you, he prepared the way for the message of the covenant, who the righteous will be seeking. You're seeking something because you don't know where it is. And that's what's happening. They're blocking Legion, Louis Eugene Grounds, and his syncopaths. They're blocking the identity of, because he knew, if you read Mark, he knew. Because he said, hey, son of God. I forget the actual word is used, so that's what he said. No, what are you doing here? So he knew. He knew who Joshua or Jesus was. He knew. And he was upset because he was waking up the other people, the people that's under his control. And you read Exodus, right? When you read Exodus, you found that they find out who it is because Moses approached them and they separate from Aaron and said, those with the Lord, come with me. But that's a tricky one because Moses, if you understand the four winds, because he's the fourth wind. And it tells you the time frame that would happen. says the war was the sign of war, but not the sign of victory or defeat. What war? The war is about to happen in the Middle East right now. At that point, that's when they're going to find out who the messenger of the covenant is. They're going to come to him because they run to him based on their nature. Because they don't have the mind back, and they get the mind back. That's an all story together. Anyway, it says, he's the light in, the messenger of the covenant. But Farrakhan never talks about this. Never. He's not the messenger of the covenant. He's the one robbing God. Because the one robbing God is cursed with a curse. The man got cancer, got all this stuff cut out. Come out. Women are in heaven. Well, he's in hell. He can never have a woman. He got all this stuff cut out. Because he's a robber. He's Aaron. He misses Aaron, but when Aaron doing Elijah's absence. He's the one robbing the nation. That's why he hasn't produced a goddamn thing. But then, you read at your own leisure. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. So we'll go to chapter 20. I'm going to go through this quickly, brothers and sisters. You read it. First of all, the angel stepped down to heaven, and that's what threw him into dark ages. 1,000 years. Satan, the devil. Okay. So tell you so if you understand that's European history, you know who these people are. Because it said they will be up there, the devil, Satan, all they'd be locked down in Europe for 1,000 years. See? 1,000 years. See? And shut them up. Okay, it's the next one. That's the abyss. And then it says, I saw thrones. Then there's a resurrection. A resurrection. That means something that was alive, dead, now it's alive again. And so Muhammad did not create Islam. He resurrected. That was Abraham and Islam again. That's another thing I tell you. Go and find out, check it out, do history, find out who built Mecca, who built the Kaaba, who set up the pilgrimage, all that stuff they was doing when Prophet Muhammad was he grew up in that. That was there before him. They can't tell you that. It's just simple. They tell that's the word. Abraham was with God. And see the Abraham that's going to retire the kingdom. So Abraham's religion must be the right religion. Oh, you see the problem there? So they don't tell you that. They don't tell you, well, Abraham came in. No, Abraham built all that over there. It was already, they tried to make it, Prophet Muhammad built that. No, he didn't. It was there. So anyway, this is the resurrection. See? Giving them this is the resurrection first. It's resurrection. Resurrect something. They don't tell you that. And then 1,000 years. And whenever it's be ended 1,000 years, would be loose, that's when Satan will come out. Who is in there? Europeans? False Israel, call themselves Jews. They was up in Europe. They were in Africa. Right? And it says, Gog and Magog, they went out and covered the whole earth. They didn't know about the whole earth before that. Gog and Magog. And says they would deceive make the whole world. Some translations said deceive. All the nations. In 4 corners of the earth. Everybody's deceived. Everybody's in error because of them. They would make them. And they spread deception. Make people shed blood. Lead them into war. Constant wars. That's what I want you to know. That's European history. Then Armageddon. This is after that, right? They were surrounded. The city hadn't been loved. That's Jerusalem. That's where the war is about to take place right now. This is about to happen right now. Okay? And the devil making an error. So I tell you, Gog and Magog. They just wanted to make everybody say they call him the devil. Pharaoh said, "Ain't the devil no more." Well, Gog and Magog, that's American Britain. They say, and the devil making to error. Who was making error? Gog and Magog. So that's they call them devils. Was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, where the wild beast, the false prophet, will be tormented. Who's the false prophet? Israel was a prophet. False Israel claiming they're a prophet. Israel, Jacob was changed name to Israel. Check that name out, Israel. He was a prophet. But for these so-called Jews claim they Israel. That means they're a false prophet. Because Jacob represents the people over here in the Holocaust for 400 years. Abraham's seed, Now Farrakhan's an Abraham seed because it follows the devil. That's biology. He missed it. We got proof. He missed it. He said his father's parents were white Portuguese Jews. So that Armageddon, so that at this point, this is when the Europeans start fighting with each other. I took Armageddon, the European War. And you see it's over there right now. You see little smoke, right? It's over there right now. But what's triggered is the war in the Middle East. Farrakhan said, 3 years ago, the war Armageddon started. It's going to spread over the world. I don't see no war Armageddon. You seen the war Armageddon? And after that, he said, God told him to shut up. Yeah, because you don't know a goddamn thing you're talking about. He's a big liar. Now, Ishmael been saying, if somebody says something and it don't come to pass, that means they're a liar, you should listen to him. Well, you should take your advice, Ishmael. Because the last thing he predicted was Armageddon was going to spread all over the world 3 years ago. You seen Armageddon? So he said, well, God told me to be quiet. You're supposed to be the watchman. How you watch me if you're quiet? It's all bullshit. Move on, brothers and sisters. Then apocalypse. Armageddon is not apocalypse, it's just a phase of it. Right? And this, I'm not going to, this gets to the Great War and everything, the flood and everything that's about to happen. But main thing right now is this war. It's about to happen. And America and Britain, God may be thrown out in the Middle East. False Israel will be surrounded by armies and destroyed. Under siege first, and no food, just like they're writing their own obituary. Because what they're doing to the so-called Palestinians, they tell them Amalek is going to be happening to them. And nobody's going to say anything. Because they're going to, they attack Iran, they're going to flip the script just like that. All of a sudden they're going to be on the other end of that gun. They're going to be cut off, no food allowed. Women and children starving to death. And they have drones flying all over, right, with cameras to show them eating each other. It says, follow these sons, some of these fathers, sons. So they're going to no food, anything allowed in. And they're going to show who they really are. One brothers and sisters. The Gog and Magog. I'm going to say a couple things. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Oops. I have to go check something, brothers and sisters. My wife asked me to put something on the stove, and I did. And if I haven't burnt anything, I'll be right back in a minute. Be back in a minute. Hold on. Oops. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Close call. Yep. Wife have me doing the cooking. And so on the weekends, like, if I'm really doing something right, lately for the last couple of weeks, I'm backing off the cooking. So she got a way of putting my attention to that. Well, you ain't cooking anything? Oh, okay, well, yeah, that means you want me to get back in the kitchen on Sundays again, Saturday, Sunday, so I'm there. Anyway, brothers and sisters. She's sick. Hold on. Let me turn this thing down off over here. Okay. So I'm showing here is that you see this. That's the spring sun coming up during the winter, and this is right here with that. That's why I got like a crown of thorns. That's here, and they got the sealed Bible. So they got us locked in, right? They pouring this garbage in our minds, right? And this represents technology, AI, right? Where we're in time. And there's ideology that's running this reality. The Adam was so giving the guys was given a sealed Bible. I'm going into a lot of detail here, right? But I'm trying to explain some symbolism here. So they're going to war because they're trying to stop the spring coming in. A new mind. It's a war against a mind war, brothers and sisters. A new reality requires new mind. To make all things new, that means you have to have a new mind. That's why you get in both Bible and you get in Daniel and you get a new mind. And that means you bring a new reality. Let's assume that the mind is more powerful than the existing mind. Greater pressure becomes lower pressure. I got that here twice, okay, whatever. Hold on. So the thing is that what's happening is when you see all these calamities and things, you understand what that means. That means the current system is under attack. And so what you're seeing is the resistance to a new mind. Remember, it's a conflict between two minds, two realities. Reality comes from the mind. So there's another mind on the scene, right? You got the winter mind and the spring minds coming in, and the winter mind is resisting. And so I explain quality, pressure, quality of pressure. Pressure has different qualities to it. So the thing is, this is the way their system is designed. That's the structure of it. So that means that's the effect. That's how it's going to respond to the pressure in this way. So you see, the pressure on all of their systems. This is resist because the pressures. This is the structure of their reality. Basically, right? Economic, religion, economics, government, media, military. That's aspects is here. So that's what system looks like. So that's what you're crushing. So if you see those things in trouble, that means it's another system coming in that's reacting to. And it's reacting to it because the system has to be greater. Otherwise, it'd be the opposite happening. The economy would get better, religion would be getting better, the weather would be getting better, the government would get better, military would be getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But the opposite just happened. Everything's getting weak because it's resisting another mind that's on the scene. Another mind's on the scene is causing this to be under pressure. Understand? So when you understand that, and understand the source of the mind, because you can't see the wind, but you see the effect of the wind. So you see this, the leaves blowing. The more violently blowing, that means the harder the wind is. If it's blowing in the north direction, that means the northward wind is blowing east. So you see, everything is shaking. That means it's a force against it. And they say, well, I got to make great America great again. It means they're trying to get control. They're trying to maintain control. Well, I got to get Canada. They're trying to maintain their control, but the pressure's increasing. They're trying to hold on. You understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? They're trying to hold on. That's what you're seeing. Bad weather. But see, if you understand that it's your mind that's bringing this in, or mind that's favorable for you, then that's not going to affect you. As long as your mind, or I should say that away, right? You still have to increase the pressure of your mind. You have to increase your mind up. Otherwise, I don't know if I'll get too much detail now, right now, brothers and sisters, because I have a special presentation to deal with that. But the bottom line is generally speaking, right? See, it's the original mind that's starting to exert itself against this gravity of mind. But right now, it's the angel and the message of the covenant. That's the high pressure. And what he's doing is to take and encourage, elevate the other minds, the original minds, to a high pressure zone. You understand? So I'll leave it there. The bottom line is there's a mind on the scene. They always send a prophet with just one prophet, female or male, with high pressure. A scripture that tells them how to increase their mind, right, to a greater pressure than the existing reality. And that's all it takes. And then they start feeding it, and all of a sudden, greater pressure overcomes lower pressures. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So when you see all these things happen, that means they're under pressure. That means they're losing. That means there's a greater pressure on the scene. That's when everybody's losing. It's a greater mind on the scene. And that's what angel is all about, breaking those seals, because that mind is more powerful. Remember, religion is a mind. The scriptures are minds. Mind is not the brain. It gets information to it. And scriptures are like exercise machines that go to the gym. It's okay, you want to strengthen these muscles, you got to use this machine. So you got to study that scripture, increase. That's how you increase your thought, your mind up to a higher level. And once you get stronger, then now you have high pressure. Now you overcome the low pressure. Only one person in the scripture. The scripture tell them how to do it, and it's also not only how to do it, but it's like a gym. Start studying it, and then your mind increases. And once you understand it, right, then you've achieved a higher pressure zone, which is greater than everything, and then you start blowing away the previous reality. That's what I'm saying right now, brothers and sisters. So you got seasons. Now we just went to a 6,000-year winter season. And that's why I show that picture. Spring is coming in. A new mind. But they want to hold on to the old mind. So they're desperate to do that. But if you can't do that, you can't stop the spring coming in. But you don't know that you can't stop it. You never seen spring before. You thought it was winter all the time. So you're happy with winter. All of a sudden spring, wait a minute, stuff starts getting warm and everything. And what's going on? So you start to find all kinds of ways to stop that spring coming in. You can't do it, but you don't know that. And that's what's going on right now. Trump, we're going to do this. He ain't going to do a damn thing. What they're doing is they're trying to stop the spring coming in. They're trying to stop a new mind coming in. The angel, Revelations, break no seals. The Ancient of Days. They're trying to stop this new mind from coming in. Because it's starting to burn them. They're getting weaker. America hasn't won a war, and so they got the greatest war. How can't win any wars? Now they're on tariff war because the economy is in trouble. People are banning the church, converting to all other stuff. Then they got false Israel over there, and they're out of control. And they said, and that's destroying America's credibility, because America was allowed to begin with, but it was hiding behind, they had a nice clean dress on. Underneath they was funky as hell, funky and stinking, shit all over the place, totally funky, but they had a nice little dress on. And so I tell them, I see how nice, pretty we are over there. And now false Israel told us to pull that up. And they said, oh, god damn, oh man. Because false Israel doing exactly what they did, right? False said, where'd you mad us for, daddy? We're doing exactly what you did. We stole the land, we killing people, genocide, just killing baby children. But you did 1,000 times worse. So what you get mad? We following your footsteps, you see what I'm saying? And they're still supporting them. They got to, because they got to keep, so our vision, that's why false is in the beginning. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to that right now. You understand? They locked in on that. I don't know if I'm going to talk about that. Let me see what I got here. So they put, oh man, false Israel is exposing their nakedness. They showed that he was lying, and UN was a joke. Because America was a dictator. America wasn't effective. They weren't under control of the UN. They was using to control everybody else. They got a veto. That means we can stop y'all from doing anything we want to do, but y'all can't do anything to us. It's a dictatorship. And they talk about dictator. We hate dictators. Dictators no goddamn good. MF. No good. Shitbags. Right? They can kiss my butt. Dictators. Saddam Hussein. And all dictators. And America's a dictator. And you ain't a dictator. The whole world can say, no, it ain't gonna be this way. On top of that, remember I said who's the God of this world? The one that's pretending to be an angel light? The one they say is Jesus? That's their Jesus. Well, he's a goddamn dictator. Ain't that what he said? You do what I say, you don't vote for me, I'm going to be your God for life. I decided to be your God. You didn't choose me. I said I'm going to be your God for life. For life, for eternity. And you ain't going to vote. And you better do I put your ass in jail, in hell, forever. Ain't that a dictator? Tell me that's not it. Oh, he's a good dictator. I can't hate dictators. They ain't no damn good. But Jesus that you worship is a dictator. See the bullshit? Okay. Everything I say blows away everything they do. It blows it all away. Because now the truth is here. The light is here. Deception is on the run. You see? The seal's been broken. Now light is here. And light light forces darkness away at the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. It's flying. Speed of darkness flying when light comes out. Boy, darkness flying. Can't get away fast enough. Consider this right here. Now, say, for instance, you live in say it's a pot, it's a plant or something, but it's right, and you living inside of it, so you don't know it's a pot. You know there's a fire under it. You don't know that, but you live in it. You don't even know it's you in the pot. All you know is you in this place, right? But you living in there, but you didn't know it's a pot. You know there's a fire under it. Or you know, man, it's starting to get warm up in here. Global warming. See, global warming is not because your cars and stuff. That's because they don't know how the universe works. Momentous in heaven and earth, but it's kind of above a sudden. Anybody know physics know that wouldn't be true unless Earth, only way to be true, Earth has to be the center of the universe. It means it's heating up because all the energy out there is coming here. Coming in waves, possibly 50 years. We can prove it. So, but say you don't know that. So now the fire is heating up. So you out there, man, it's hot. So you got all kinds of theories of why it's getting hot. And what if we need to cool it down? Because people get temperatures rising. People trying to keep cool, keep cool. They start fighting each other, wars and stuff, because you don't know what's going on here. And now the goddamn thing you can do to stop it, nothing. You can't stop it. Now the people that love heat, man, it benefits them. Say if you're still a steel ball, then yeah. But if you plastic ball, man, you got heat, man. Hey, I gotta stop, man. It's gonna be melting. But if you're a snowball, you know, damn thing to do. That's what America's faced right now, because the universe is heating up. Because what's out there, the universe is contracting. So energy out there is not coming back here in ways that approximately 50 years. We can prove it. So it's heating up. It says it's momentous in the heavens and earth, but it's coming above a sudden. So it's every 50 years. The first one, 1860s. 1960, that's 100 years. That'd be two. So the other one was in the 20s, right? So now we're in the 20s again. And every change was the first big, that's when we start coming out of it. Universe start contracting. So what happened? Black folks started energized. They broke their chains. Right? 50 years later, Eurocentric, jazz. Remember the first 50 years, at the beginning it was blues, because everybody knew what to do. We had the blues. Check when the 50s blues came out. Right? During the Civil War, right during the 60s. They had the blues, they didn't know what to do. They didn't have a chain, they didn't know what to do. They threw us in the ditch without nothing. And then you start getting jazzy 50 years later, start thinking Eurocentric. See? That's what Elijah Muhammad came on the scene. Master Muhammad came on the scene. Noble Drew Ali, those people thinking Eurocentric. Then 50 years later, right? Civil rights movement, right? I'm black and I'm proud. The music changed, remember? Blues. 50 years later, jazz, check it out. 50 years after that, rock. Everybody's in rock. Remember? I'm black and I'm proud. Getting ready to start wearing froze and stuff. And now 50 years now, another change about to happen. Another type of music. This time be victory, because every time they lost more control of us. And that's the problem for them. They didn't want to lose control of us. So they come down more oppressive methods, three-strike law and everything else. Because they lost control, so started losing control of Civil War. 50 years later, lost more control. 50 years later, Civil rights movement and everything else. Right? And then now, they're going to lose total control. Because 2,000 years, 1619, 2019, that's 20 years over. So now the plague comes. The plagues will come in, a judgment, and then we go home. See? So not a damn thing they could do, because they don't know they're in a pot. They don't know that's where he's coming from. Nothing they do. So nothing Trump can do. He'll end up in a real bad way. Because when he goes to war and he loses, they're gonna blame it on him. Ooh, he might envy Gaddafi. You know what he did with Gaddafi, right? And when you get the fire, as Scripture tells you, and I'm telling you, you either fire or you fuel for the fire. It says he make his ministers flames of fire. Fire is pure. That's the truth. There's no truth greater than fire. Fire is truth. There's no impurities or anything in fire. Inspirational. It moves anything. Anything that's not fire will burn up. So you fire or you fuel fire. So if you ain't on this angel and they can't get to it, it's high level. Their mind can't get to that. See? So they can only be fuel for fire. Move on, brothers and sisters. And so look at this quickly, brothers and sisters. See, this is the situation we're in right now. This Gog and Magog puts in for this. The Holocaust, we've been under their control for 5 years. And that's we end up like this here. And all this is all the ideas, the stuff they feed us with is lies. Economics, capitalism, religion. Capitalism means slavery by definition. It's exploitation by definition. Okay, another way. Maximum profit, minimum overhead means if they get you to work for nothing, that's total profit. But they had to give you they gave you shit, they gave you bare minimum. They didn't give you no bed, you ain't had no fireplace like they show these stupid ass movies. They lock you up in a damn closet. My uncle told me, because my uncle was pretty old, he told me how it was. He lived in North Carolina. When I was a kid, I talked to him, asked him about it. So he locked him up in a little like closet thing out like a tool shed. Whole damn family. Locked me at night, no floor, anything, no heat, anything. So they wouldn't run away. They said they did their business and everything on top of each other. See, they try to soften it up. Like Dan go there, this white boy, they always have to put it got to be some good white person in there. It's all bullshit. Like I said, well, I said, it's got to be a good one. He sacrificed his life for him. It's all bullshit. So, a lot of history. They control us by fear. Terror, that's how they control us. For real. Media all this. And that's what Master Muhammad and my job is to do. Knock those vexed away at me. Put you back like you was before we came here. Son of man must suffer many things, be rejected by the elders and chief priests, scribes, and put to death and raised the third day. So you don't know what this means, but it's about to happen. Okay. But he's not going to be killed. Because I know that. But the point is, it's going to come pretty close. Is that the person that betrayed him? I didn't show that. I said, oh boy. Yeah, anyway. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. I was going to do part 5 and part 6 today, but like I said, I had too many hours to put these things together, brothers and sisters. Hours. And then technical differences and everything else. I was going to do a double one today, but right. So that one tomorrow. Yeah, that one tomorrow. Okay, I think that covers everything. Anyway, that's their 500 year legacy. That's their legacy. That's the truth of it. Now tell me I'm lying. So you tell me who they represent, who's their God, who they're representing. They're good people. If they was good, they'd have made us good or better. Like I said, you can tell. You can't see the wind, but you can tell the effect of the wind by you see the leaves with. So you see the effect here on us. That means they're evil, wicked. They look at it. See how dumb them niggas are. See how stupid they are, right? Because lazy. Well, look, when you go and buy a mule, you don't buy a lazy mule. They picked up because we're the most energetic, healthy, we're hard-working people on the planet. They couldn't get their own people to work. They call them indentured servants. See, they lied to you about everything. We're not lazy people. That's why they came and got us, right? So, see, the ladies stupid, the thieves and robbers, adulterers, fornicators, whores, pimps. Okay, that leaf is blowing real fast, man. And it's blowing north. It must be a wind that's blowing real hard and blowing north. So, if they hoes and pimps and liars and dogs, they wouldn't have when they came here. That means the people that they're under their control, that's them, not you. You're righteous, good people. Our people are beautiful people. And our sisters are the most beautiful on the planet. And you made a goddamn fucking mistake by touching with them. Yeah, I said it, because you made a mistake by touching them sisters. I ain't gonna ever, you made a mistake. You should never touch our women. You might have got a play if you had to just deal with us. But the way you did our women, I would be less than dog shit if I didn't step our women after y'all did for them. No. You're going to pay a heavy price. I mean, it's priceless what you're going to pay. So I don't even say price. There's no limit to what you're going to suffer, what you do to our women. You declared war on us 500 years ago. As long as there's a soldier standing, the war is not over. And then you got one standing. He got the ultimate weapon on your ass. Okay? And our sisters, they will be avenged. Avenged. Okay? And restored. The greatest thing in the universe. You say, well, how are you saying the greatest thing? Well, what's the greatest thing that you're looking forward? Your heaven, ain't it? Ain't that what everybody's working for, the heaven? But like Mama told you, the women are heaven. So it must be the greatest thing in the universe. You come out of a man, or you come out of a woman. I just want to believe him. I just want to believe him.